In the estate planning world, our world intersects with the financial world all the time. So lawyers work with financial advisors pretty consistently. And so I have 4 tips for you on how to arrange your finances. Tip number 1 when it comes to organizing your finances is to be careful with joint accounts. It's common for people to come into our office and they have put maybe a son or a daughter onto their accounts as a joint owner. And the reason that they're doing that is to try to keep things simple and allow access to the kid. But that can disrupt the estate plan because sometimes that account might end up with a little bit more money than you have in it now. You might close something else, put some money in it. And if your will says equal shares to the kids and only one kid's name is on that account, well, that one kid takes the money and disrupts your estate plan. So you need to be careful with joint ownership on accounts. Tip number 2 when it comes to organizing your finances is you need to understand how the Secure Act impacted your retirement accounts. If you have a financial advisor, you need to be asking them about this. But long story short, the Secure Act changed how your kids will eventually inherit your retirement account. They used to get lifetime stretch on that money. They no longer do, and it has big financial implications after you pass away. So tip number 2 on how to understand and organize your finances is to get your head around how the Secure Act impacted your retirement plan. Hey, tip number 3, when it comes to organizing your finances is don't forget about long-term care. According to the Alzheimer's Association, 1 in 3 of us are going to have dementia and 2 out of 3 of us are going to need some form of long-term care. So when you come to thinking about retirement and thinking about your finances, you can't forget about probably the biggest financial risk you have in life, and that's long-term care. So check out insurance or do some asset protection work, but don't pretend like it doesn't exist. Hey, tip number 4 when it comes to understanding your finances and how it relates with estate planning is that you need to be very careful with relying too heavily on beneficiary designations. Okay, so you have an account, you put your kid on as a beneficiary for when you pass away, but the challenge with that is a beneficiary designation really only answers one question, and that question is, who gets the money when I pass away, right? But there are some other important questions, like what happens if that person dies before you? What happens if that person is underage? What happens if that person is disabled? What happens if that person's in a nursing home or in the middle of a divorce, right? So we can't pretend like life is super simple and all we need to do is name who gets the stuff. There's other questions that we need to answer, and those questions require an estate plan. Hey, so I hope you've enjoyed these 4 tips on how your financial world aligns with your estate planning world. If you need more information, check us out at secularlawfirm.com or subscribe to us here on YouTube.